At its peak in the late 90s, Blockbuster owned over 9,000 video rental stores.
The rise and fall of Justin Timberlake. Unlike
Monster High is a global phenomenon and a household name, for better or for worse. So today let's take a deep dive into the frightening world of Monster High.
Collector's editions in the past, but you know, the damnedest thing happened.
I said f it.
Let's take a look at more collector's editions throughout history and see which ones truly weren't worth your time, money, space, and which ones were even truly.
Hey guys, my name's Allie and welcome to my YouTube channel. I create out-of-the-box content revolving YouTube trends and pop culture trends, and if that interests you, please go ahead and subscribe, and with that, let's get on to the video. So something I've wanted to discuss for a really long time is the rise of deep dive content. We've really started to see this rise of icebergs and the rise and fall of this company and the history of this company a lot more after COVID, and I've wanted to know, why are we seeing deep dives a lot more recently on YouTube, and what does that mean for the future of this platform? What does that mean for the future content that we're going to see for the next 5 or 10 years? And that is what I want to discuss in this video. So I've broken this video into 4 parts: pre-COVID, the rise of deep dives, the pros and cons of deep dives, and what does this look like for YouTube's future? What do we think we're gonna see on the platform in the next couple of years? So starting in the pre-COVID area, so around 2016 to 2019, YouTube was filled with a lot of hauls, tutorials, and DIYs. This was for across all niches, including gaming, makeup, cooking, DIYs, etc. And with that, we saw long form consumerism being consumed by the average viewer. From here, we started to see a lot of household name YouTubers in their respected areas. So you had people like James Charles, Nikki Tutorials, Jeffree Star, Toddy Westbrook, Nikita Dragon, Manny MUA, Gabriel Zamora, Bretman Rock, and Jaclyn Hill taking over the entire beauty industries by storm. We also had BuzzFeed's company that was its all-time peak at this time with their Ladylike and Try Guy segment. You had people like Safia Nyragard, and you also had people like Keith, Zach, Eugene, and Ned for Try Guys. We also had DIY channels like Glitter Forever 17, and we also had other places like Simply Nailogical and PewDiePie for the gaming area. And there's a lot of other YouTubers that are very major at this time. These are just the ones that I've personally watched or focused on, just like a lot of other people have. Even though these YouTubers were well respected within their own areas, they either got canceled, got into a scandal, they left a parent company to branch out on their own, or they couldn't keep up with the times and eventually became a relic of the past when it came to their type of content they made. Not all, but most influencers got to this point within their career and the videos that they were making to the point where they were unrelatable to the average watcher, and they started becoming entrepreneurs trying to sell you stuff through codes, PR, collaborations with companies, and eventually you were either treated like a customer instead of a viewer or a fan, and it was either trying to make money off of you or compromising their integrity for money from another company that they signed with. And that became had a lot of people become distrustful of YouTubers and larger content creators. Eventually this led to exposed or canceled type videos from commentator and T channels surfacing on YouTube towards larger creators. You had a lot of people starting to dig through old tweets, old comments, old YouTube videos in order to nitpick and find anything they could to tear down the content creator that they had built up due to the growing animosity, jealousy, and annoyance that some viewers were getting from the influencer as they got too big for their britches. And with that being said, people were doing anything they could to cancel the larger content creator and saying, look, you shouldn't be following this person because they're bad, because they said these things from the past. After COVID and inflation hit, that's when we really started seeing mainstream deep dive content channels be on the rise. We saw a lot of internet history videos, lore videos, bankruptcy videos, the rise and fall of this company, the history of that company, and videos focusing a lot on consumerism and overconsumption. During this shift, you had a lot of YouTubers that couldn't keep up with modern times and modern content creation, and so their views really plummeted, and along did their career, and they kind of became a relic of YouTube past. So you had people like Boogie, Anision, Glitter Forever 17 that all fell off the face of YouTube in the sense of views, and everything took a huge dip within their career. You also had YouTubers within certain niches start to change their videos to be more consumerism focused, or the history of whatever their niche niche was, like Scott the Woz, Sophie Sohet, with gaming and luxury items. Here's a list of some of the major deep dive content creators that you may have engaged in or started to see a lot more of recently. So we have Matt Pat from Film Theory, Food Theory, Game Theory, all his theory videos. We have Smokey Glow, who originally started in the makeup community. We have Future Proof, Company Man, Sloan, The Comment Section with Brett Cooper, Caitlin Milcop, Visual Venture. We have a lot of other YouTubers. These are just some that I'm trying to cover of every area of every niche. Many content creators started shifting their focus towards anti-consumerism videos since PR unboxings and hauls no longer came relatable or desirable as previously mentioned. And with the aftermath of COVID and the inflation being on the rise, a lot of people were turning their ears and eyes towards different types of content. While many content creators are kind of promoting that consumerism is something that no one wants to watch anymore, and a lot of people are just focusing on anti-hauls and anti-videos and minimalist type videos, I would argue that consumerism is still at its all-time high, and it's being snuck into our lives in a different way than what we're used to seeing. Consumerism is something people enjoy watching to this day, just in short form video content compared to longer form video content. So you have a lot of Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikToks where you have fridge organization, makeup organization, organizing my Pokemon card collection. And with these ASMR sounds and organizing videos, it's not exactly screaming, look at everything I've bought, here's my haul. It's just being done in a more organizing, satisfying, making my OCD feel good type videos disguised in a more discreet type way. Another way a lot of these content creators and influencers are pushing overconsumption is this whole I bought one of everything blank type style videos. Hope Scope does this. Keith Eats the Menu from Try Guys. You have Good Mythical Morning where they try all the foods from blank. And while I understand these are for entertainment purposes and they give warnings or sometimes they donate it to charities and food banks, I'm not knocking on any of these YouTubers, by the way. It still promotes this idea that I have to have this grand amount of stuff in order to get people to watch my video. With the rise of deep dive content, there are several pros and cons to this type of content being on the rise. So one pro is that a lot of younger generations want to become more educated and informed before making a decision or developing an opinion of any kind. An example would be a lot of Gen Z has showed up more than any other generation towards presidential elections or election polls in general, or wanting to become politically involved and aware, like the Black Lives Matter movement, the Palestine movement, and the Ukraine movement. Gen Z and Gen Alpha are also on TikTok, where people are making short form video contents on certain topics they're either very passionate or very educated about, pulling up screenshots and websites as the backdrop so you don't even have to look it up on your own because it's right there for you with the receipts. Some cons would be where the information is coming from and blindly trusting influencers and content creators online due to a parasocial relationship without looking up the information yourself firsthand. Like discussed in my previous video, why YouTubers are obsessed with TikTokers, I go into the algorithm and how it curates certain content for you based off of previous content you've consumed, which causes this echo chamber or confirmation bias where you're just fed similar or like-minded information based on your own beliefs because of the previous content you've consumed being digested. Therefore, you're just going to be seeing the same content over and over and over again with ignoring anything that challenges it due to the algorithm. Other cons are the rise of parasocial relationships, where a lot of people are blindly trusting this information because someone they've developed a relationship with one-sided said so. Well, so-and-so said so, so it has to be right, when in reality, that's not always the case. Other cons are the rise of parasocial relationships. So because you developed a one-sided relationship with a content creator or influencer, you might blindly believe what they say is factual because of your relationship you've developed. And you might not even bother to Google or research if what they're saying is factual because of your relationship that you've created. That, by the way, again, is one-sided. The rise of deep dive content has definitely changed mainstream YouTube from being oversaturated with hauls and tutorials towards the history of companies and people and their rise and fall to relevancy. Definitely think the shift from pre-COVID to post-COVID definitely marked an end of an era in YouTube content and what we saw on mainstream YouTube for the first time in years. And what does this mean for the future? I actually don't know, but something I am positive about is we will only see the cancellation and exposed list grow because unfortunately the internet always has to be talking or exposing somebody. Anyways, I want to thank you for watching my video. I definitely plan to continue making content on out-of-the-box content revolving trends in pop culture and society, and I hope you like it. And if you do, please subscribe, thumbs up, and if you came from my TikTok, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.